Imagine walking in a combat soldier's shoes. 1 kilometre turns into 2, 2 turns into 3, 3 turns into 20, on and on until your mission ends. You're carrying your food, your water, communication equipment and weapon, and the total weight of this load exceeds your own body weight. Now, imagine doing this walk again, carrying the same load, but this time your stature is smaller, your body weight is less, and your muscles are weaker. This is walking in a female combat soldier's shoes. Globally, around 66 countries to date have removed sex restrictions from military organisations, meaning that females can now apply for all combat arms roles. Some organisations have updated their entry and employment standards in order to facilitate for known physical differences between sexes. However, in Australia, men and women are still expected to complete the same load carriage employment task at the end of basic training. Now, we can train individuals to improve their physical capacity to meet the task demands of load carriage, but we still train men and women in the same way for the same task, even though we know that physically they are different and probably don't respond in the same way. This problem is under-researched and under-resourced. Therefore, my research aimed to identify sex-specific responses in both physical strength and when walking with load before and after the same 10-week training program. To do this, I placed small reflective markers on the body before both men and women walked for 5 kilometres wearing a 23-kilogram weighted vest. I tracked the motion of these markers during the walk, and using sophisticated analysis, I was able to identify if the way that these moved changed. Interestingly, our results were the first globally to show that men and women don't respond in the same way to the same training. For example, men and women walked differently when they wore the 23-kilogram weighted vest, and differently again after the 10 weeks of training. We also found that men mainly increased their lower body strength, whereas women mainly increased their upper body strength, even though they completed the same training. These findings are unique as they highlight the need for sex-specific training in order to reduce the performance gap between sexes. They also facilitate the optimization of training not only for Army, but for other physically demanding occupations. Given these findings are a world first, they pave the way for change in how organizations train their workforce. So, the next time you're walking along without a hint of weight on your shoulders, spare a thought for our soldiers carrying their load for their 1, 2, 3, 20 kilometres. Thank you.